It is Friday, homies. Welcome to another episode of Crossout, back on the test server today because the devs have finally released another upcoming spoiler thingy on the patch server, on the test server that we are allowed to check out. I'm really excited for this. Lots of nice changes coming. It's Black Friday, guys. I hope you bought some amazing stuff. Me personally, went down, bought my first game since forever. Need for Speed of Heat. Really excited for it. Was actually thinking about doing some content for it, but you know, gotta come up with something fancy because people have already been doing like playthroughs of that game a million times. So we gotta figure something cool. Let me know down below what you think about this idea. That's not what we're going to talk about now. So let's just go directly on to the next thing here that we got for today. First off, let's look at the patch notes. Let's look at what we maybe got coming. Again, this is the test server, so these changes might not be final. Just a little side note, don't get too excited. But lots of awesome changes in my opinion. First of all, we have the Nidhogg. The Nidhogg will be having its reload speed increased by 17%. So the speed increased by 17%, which means that 2.5 seconds from you shoot till you can shoot again, which is, in my opinion, fairly low. And the Nidhogg is just underpowered compared to its legendary like equivalencies, like for example the Hammerfall. The Hammerfall is just a way better choice in so many parameters, in my opinion, compared to the Nidhogg. And they're trying to, you know, balance it a little bit more to decrease the distance between the Hammerfall and the Nidhogg a bit. So let's take a look at it now here. You see I have it with the Echo, and already from just the base reload, these Nidhoggs are not upgraded or anything. It's just regular Nidhoggs. And as you can see, I'm not even at 20% reload speed because of my movement speed. So it is shooting fairly quickly, I would say. But watch what happens when we pop the freaking cabin bonus. Like, just look at that rate of fire. I mean, that is beautiful. That is honestly beautiful. So really excited for this change. Cannot like describe how nice of a change it is to actually see some love on the weapons that are a little less common in both Clan Wars and higher power score games. So amazing change by the devs there. And again, you know, we've been addressing the fact that we want more balance changes, and we want the game to develop in a way where we don't just feel like the game is focusing on the money earned and stuff. And this patch is all about that. So guys, stay with me here because there is so much good coming up if you don't have access to this server yourself for some reason. Next thing we have, and let's just look at that immediately. And this is actually like two things we're going to look at here, because first of all, the goblins will be reduced by 10% damage wise. So you will now get 10% less damage for each goblin, which is also, I think, to a lot of people really welcome. Besides that, we will also have the Goliath tracks, which will have its speed reduced on turning. So right now you can pretty much spin on the spot with the Goliath tracks, and they're trying to reduce that. And let me just show you what this looks like, because it is actually quite a nice change in my opinion. This is a classic goblin sandwich that you will see in a lot of matches. But now look what happens when I start turning here. Like, look at that freaking turn radius. Look at that. What is it? Is it like 10 seconds to spin a 360? Look what if you're trying to turn on the spot here. I mean, it's just... This is very slow. And I'm actually afraid that it might even be too slow. But I also know that a lot of you guys have like mad hate for the goblin... for these goblin sandwiches and the Goliath track in general, because it is so freaking strong. Like at 3, 4, 5,000 power score, there's little you can do against a sandwich like this. They're so hard to beat. So you know, it's I think it's a great change, because I think this is one of the most demotivating things for new players to encounter in the game as of right now. There's the steering wheel, by the way. Nice. So another really good change in my opinion. And again, this is you're not dreaming right now. This is actually a full balance patch, guys. Trust me. It is. All right, next up, let's look at what we'll have. Besides that, we have the Punisher, which will have its durability increased by 19%. And that is quite a lot. So you can no longer lose that from just, you know... Could you do that before? Now, I don't think you could lose it from just a single shot of a Typhoon, but a dual shot will definitely strip it. That will probably still happen if you get hit directly on the gun, but 60 structure more is quite a lot. And besides that, damage increased by 6%. So now the Punisher will actually not just be an upgraded, you know, some sort of an aspect that is always heated. You know, the aspect deals pretty much the same damage as the Punisher, as long as the aspect is heated as of right now. So you will get 6% more damage, which will add up during a match. So I definitely think that this Punisher buff will be seen as, you know, us seeing more Punishers in the future in Clan Wars. Again, really welcome this. The more diverse the meta becomes, the better. We have the Pulsar, which has had its durability reduced by 6%. And 6% might not seem like a lot, but it will make a difference to some extent. Right now it's 850, it will go down to 770. That is, you know, still for the Scorpion, you can actually strip it now. Can you do that? Yeah, you can actually strip it now with just 3 Scorpion shots. And I think it was 4 before, because we're doing 560 then plus 280, so that will be 840. Yeah, so you will actually be able to strip a Pulsar now in 3 Scorpion shots, for example. So definitely a change to that indeed. And the Emily, the nearest grenade launcher revolver thingy that we saw with the Night Riders, will have its reloading speed reduced or increased by 18%. So you can now reload it in 5 seconds instead of 6 seconds. Again, a little change, but I think it's a welcome one, because it is awkward sitting there for 6 seconds with your Emily's not being able to do anything because you're waiting for it to reload. The autocannon dual will have its durability increased by 11%. So from 180 to 200, which is also fine, because I think 180 is literally nothing. It's a freaking judge shot and then it falls off. So I think that is okay. The weapon is small, but still it should have some HP. And then probably one of the most welcome changes a lot of you guys will think, all of these lances right here, damage reduced by 20%. 20% is a lot. 20% is actually quite a lot. You know, lances are one of the things that we in the community and as a general thing, the entire community is just so busy hating on always. And yes, it is a bit of an annoying weapon, I'm not gonna lie. I don't like it too much either. But it's a part of the game, and that is what it is. It's a playstyle that some people enjoy, some people do not enjoy. The matter of fact is that you will no longer... I don't see a scenario where you as a Lancer will be able to take out a spider anymore. Unless you get like really, really lucky or the spider is really, really poorly put together. I don't see a scenario where you'll be able to one-shot a spider anymore. As long as the spider has, you know, just any knowledge about what he's actually doing. So, very interesting change indeed. And while we are at it on this build right here, and let me try to, you know, start out by reading these patch notes for you, because I'm not sure that I fully understand it myself, what they're actually trying to do. But the Chameleon 2 will actually be changed as well. So the way that invisibility works now will be changed. And the way that I hear it is, now the speed of the vehicle in invisibility affects the visibility of its silhouette. The faster the car goes, the greater the distance its silhouette is visible. So what I think will happen is, if you're driving fast, you know, let's just, as a reference point, use this 300-meter sign. So if I'm like driving slow, I would assume that they will not be able to see me even if I'm here. But if I'm circling around the sign with the speed, they will easily be able to tell that I'm here. And I don't know if it's a buff or a nerf. So I don't know if it's like, if I'm going full speed, I will get, you know, my silhouette will show up already at this distance. Whereas if I'm not moving, my silhouette won't show up until, you know, they get this close. Or if it's simply because, you know, right now about this distance to a player and your silhouette will become visible. So I don't know now if it's just that if you're not moving, you can literally sit here and not be decloaked. So I don't know if it's a nerf or if it's a buff. We will have to see that when we can do some proper testing. I'm hoping to be able to do this tomorrow. Stay with me, guys. If I cannot, I'll, you know, just maybe Sunday, so just give it a bit of time. I'll do what I can in order to get it through, or maybe Coldfire will, you know, join the test server and do some of his testing. He is, after all, the, you know, biggest brain of the Crossout content creators, I do believe. So we're gonna have to see what he actually says about it. And then, you know, finally we have something that a lot of you guys have always also been asking for. You see that this build has a lot of radars on it. On the last test server, they spoiled something about you losing your HUD whenever you lost a radar. Let's just see if we can shoot off one of our own radars here. That should be doable if we just go to somewhere where we can hurt ourselves. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we don't lose our HUD anymore. You just saw we just lost 4 radars, but we didn't lose our HUD anymore. That was a change that they looked at the last time in the last patch, and I don't know if that was a part of the radar nerf or if it was just a bug or if they were just messing about a little bit. But something was up because you lost your HUD whenever you lost a radar, and that is definitely not the way that this game used to act. So yeah, they never really said anything about it, but they have said in this patch note that what they are trying to tell us is they're working on changes regarding radars. It's possible that we will conduct another test prior to the update to show you the results. These changes are not connected with the in-game HUD. So, HUD is not the intention that we're going to lose that whenever you get shot. Maybe they just realized it's not a good idea. I don't know why. I don't really care. I'm just glad to see that they're working on it. But matter of fact is that they're trying to change the way that this works. So you can no longer have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 radars on a build, which again is, in my opinion, a pretty decent thing. I think it's a good, healthy way that the game is being changed right now. So all in all, I'm really excited about this patch. I really hope you guys are too. If there's anything you want me to test, want me to check out, do let me know in the comments below, and I will try to get a video out tomorrow about the test server. I am stressed about the exams right now, which I'm so sorry for, but I hope you enjoyed this nevertheless. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to yet another video. Have an awesome weekend. Bye-bye.